I really need to know, Keegan, what are the allegations? What are the allegations? I need to know what allegations. Oh, tactical pooper and jinxer. I am definitely not beating the jinxing allegations. I mean, Kevin Paredes never scores. He never does. And then the one freaking time that I pick him on in the underdog fantasy app to not score, he didn't score one goal. He scored a brace. So I'm never beating the jinxing allegations. Now pooping, I was not pooping right now. I I was not pooping. I can assure you that. I was getting some water. I was getting the notes down that I took throughout the game, getting ready for the 7 things we learned video to be released tomorrow. I can assure you I was not pooping. I wasn't. I really wasn't. I have no shame on saying if I was. There's no reason. It's perfectly normal. Perfectly normal. But everyone, make sure to drop a like if you guys just made it to the stream. Drop a like. We have only 16 likes. Let's try to get it up, get those likes up. So today we have a live watch along now, or the second live watch along of the day. This time, United States versus Guatemala. The winner of this game qualifies to the U-20 World Cup. Whoever wins qualifies. Pretty straightforward. Pretty straightforward, right? It's a knockout game. It's the quarterfinals of the CONCACAF U-20 Championship. And if we advance, I believe we will likely play Canada. I think if we, yeah. If we win today, we will play Panama or the Rude Canadians and their drones. They use drones. They spy. They use a lot of drones. I don't know. Saying stepsister action by tag. No. We went over this before. Don't date your stepsister. I know Derek apparently approves that. I haven't heard it from him. I haven't heard it, but again. Now, anyone wondering where to watch the game? I know it's on Tudane. It's also on the VIX app. Check the VIX app because I saw here that it was free on VIX. Let me see. Yeah, gratis. So download the VIX app, VIX. I think it's free. Oh, Derek, you're here. You can explain. Do you want me to send you an invite? Are you going to behave, Derek? I'll bring you in to talk about why you think it's okay to date stepsisters and the game, and we're going to talk about the game. I can send you the link, but Derek, don't. I'm sending you the link right now. Don't make me regret this. Don't make me regret this. That's all I'm saying. Please, please. I'll bring Derek. I sent him. American Ultras Talk saying it's on FS2 as well. By the way, guys, I'm going to be on their channel. I'm going to be in their channel on American Ultras Talk. I think they're releasing the episode this weekend. We did a very good episode with them. It's essentially we kind of ranked dual national prospects. They're mostly prospects from what I remember in the video because they were mostly like U23 videos. So go check out American Ultra Talks. The video will be out this week, and I'll share it on YouTube when it's out. But if you guys already want to, just go check out the channel right now. And then when the video's out, and he said it here, it'll be out on Saturday. So when it's out on Saturday, you guys can check out the video on their channel. It's a good video. They know their shit too. So it's a good video. And I sent Derek the link for the stream, and we'll see what's his justification. Astral saying, what's good, Tag? What's good? Doing good. The United States did very well in the Olympics, played a tremendous game. We did very well in that game. And now we're going to play in the U20s for a spot in the U20 World Cup. And we'll see how this plays out. We are the clear favorites to defeat Guatemala. Definitely the favorites here in this game. But again, you don't win the game on paper. Oh, these jackets that our players have, those are beautiful. How much are those? Those are not varsity jackets, are they? Let me see. USMNT jacket. Let's see. Here it is. Let's go to US Soccer Jackets. Yes. Women's man. Let's see. $150. Let me put this on screen just so you guys know what I am talking about. The players are wearing. If you look on screen, this is it. This is what I want to get. These are beautiful jackets. Look at that. Look at that. They look great. They look really nice. I like the colors, everything about it. But $150? I mean, sure. That's like, I don't know, man. I feel like $100, $90 for the jacket would probably be fair. I know that jerseys are over $90 these days too, which to me it's overpriced. But $150? I don't know. I want to buy it, but you know what I'm gonna do? I am not going to buy it. I am not going to buy it. And then when it's what should I call it? When it's did I send Derek the link? I thought I sent Derek the link. When it's when we release a new one, then I can what should I call it? Then I can buy it because it'll be cheaper. Then it'll be cheaper. Until then, I'm sorry, I'm not paying that. Derek, $150 for this. Buy or pass.
I'm gonna pass.
Me too. I'm gonna wait
That's
for them to release a new one and then buy this for like $70.
that's too damn expensive. I mean, really, how much do you think that cost them to make that?
Maybe
I
$5.
Yeah, somewhere around the $10 to $12, maybe at tops, right?
Mhm.
Probably made in China as well. I mean, I hope they're made in USA, but I don't even know
I
if
can
I.
tell you, I think they will have here. They don't have in the description.
Yeah, well, there's
Um,
probably a reason for that.
yeah.
Otherwise, wouldn't you put made in the USA?
I mean, it's Nike. Where else would they make it?
Yeah, exactly. You got all those Nike factories overseas, so where they're paying people, a pittance to do the work. And I understand that those people need to make a living too, and you know, the cost of living is probably less in Vietnam and all these other countries where they have factories. But yeah, it's crazy. 10 dollars? Did you say
150.
50? Holy, that's ridiculous.
It's pretty bad, but everyone, listen up. It's quite remarkable because the U-20 streams always we have less people in the chat than our regular streams, but I still think we have more people in this stream than in the actual stadium. There's no one there. There is literally no one there, not a living soul. There are more players on the field than on the stands.
It's in Mexico, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that makes sense because, I mean, I guess you'd expect some Guatemalans to be there because they're significant minority population of Guatemalans in Mexico. But
Or some Mexicans to hate watch the US. I don't know. It's just kind of like I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah. But since I did want to get on to explain the whole stepsister thing because it's not as creepy as you think. We had a guy who, this is a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, who called in and not called in. He wrote in and said, I'm having issues. Um, my mom just married this new guy, and you know, she had he has a daughter that's the same age as me. We're both 16 years old, and we immediately hit it off. And we're not related. Is that okay? And we said, yeah. I mean, there's nothing as long as you're open about it with your parents, the new parent. It's fine. I mean, you didn't know each other. You didn't grow up together as brother and sister your whole life. So yeah. And by the way, that worked out for that guy. It worked out. It was embraced by the family, and I think I don't know if they're married, but they certainly were dating for 2 years, and everyone was okay with it.
No, it's from a legal standpoint and reproductive standpoint, there wouldn't be any issues.
Correct. Right.
It's just more of like um can have a few awkward dinners, and all it might take all that might take to ruin both relationships is for one to collapse also. So there's a lot of like issues that you can run into it, and it is a bit weird to say, hey, um this is my wife, like this is my wife, and oh, okay, and her dad is married to my mom. There's a lot of things that are weird about it, but sure, legally, um
I mean, it could look weird if not explained. I agree. But let's say they're 18 now, they're out of college or out of high school, and they're still dating. And they've been dating for 2 years, and everybody in the family obviously knows they're not really brother and sister. It's just a matter of consequence of something else that happened outside of their control. Yeah, I mean, it's all right. Is it weird? It can be weird. It can be socially awkward, but I mean, we're here to support people, Tack. That's what we do on our show. Unless they're doing something really egregious, and we're not supporting that, right?
Yeah,
As as Pete said, if you've known her since you were 4, that gets a little weird, right? If you've been brother and stepsister since you were 4, that gets weird. That's a little weird.
in my opinion, it's weird regardless. Sure, there was one context that made sense. Um, there's it was like the context that one person added was the couple was like dating, the girl and the guy were dating or whatever, or guy and guy, girl and girl, whatever, they were dating, and then the parents started dating after, and maybe they didn't even know about the relationship with the
Right.
teenagers or whatever, and then it's just kind of like it's at the end of the day. Look, what I'll say is do not date your stepsister. I don't have a stepsister, but that's just like
Oh
the way I
god.
see it. But people do whatever they want.
Now I'm gonna start calling you tactical prude.
I'm okay with that. I am
All
okay.
right, all right. That's
By the way, the game just started. If you go to the VIX app, you'll be able to watch it. I believe it's for free actually in the VIX app right now, and you can also watch it on Fox Sports 2. Fox
yes,
Sports 2.
that's what I'm watching on currently.
Yeah, and again, this is a game that's worth a spot in the U-20 World Cup. So of course, it's U.S. and Guatemala. It's not a game that's very charming for many, but Guatemala had a tough game with Mexico in the group stage. I believe they lost 2-1, so it shouldn't be that easy of an opponent. But I think it's fair to say that anything short of a win for the U.S. today is a terrible result.
Right, right. Guatemala is like if it were compared to Mexico as a beer, it'd be like a 1.3% alcohol by volume compared to say a 5. So this is a game we should win. This is a game we
Yeah,
should win.
This is
Damn.
it's one of those tournaments where what truly happens is it's supposed to be Mexico US final. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I would guess so. Now, are the Canadians getting punished in this tournament too, or
No, no, and it looks like if they beat Panama today, that we're playing them on Friday.
yeah? Okay.
So we will likely play Canada, which that'll be a fun game if we play Canada. It won't be it won't be worth anything besides like winning the tournament and bragging rights because we'll already be qualified to the U-20 World Cup. But it's always good to beat Canada, to beat Mexico, so we'll go with that.
Yeah, yeah. It's more soccer to watch, right? And that's
Yeah.
good.
Well, oh,
You just watch that barge.
yeah, dude just got decked. The
Yeah.
American player.
You're about a minute behind me.
Where are you now?
5:18.
Yeah, I'm at 4:30, so I'm 40 seconds behind. Yeah.
Yeah, weird.
Moise is saying, "Tack, it happened all the time in Brazil." What happened all the time in Brazil?
Stepsisters and stepbrothers.
What data is that based off of? What that happens all the time in Brazil? Where did you get that from?
I don't know.
I know a lot of Brazilians, and I lived there for years, and I never heard of anyone dating their stepsister in Brazil.
Well, it happens a lot on X Hamster.
Oh no! Don't bring up those websites again.
I'm just saying. And of course, it's really always creepy too. So,
Yeah, and they're saying see here, Cruz Medina is benched. Look, it's kind of hard to know the actual starting 11 of this U20s because we have been rotating a lot. So a few players here and there we can mention that they are probably locked to starts because they've played so well. Like Nico Tsakiris is more advanced than a lot of these players, so he's definitely a starter. Taha Habron has played very well, so he's probably a locked-in starter. Pedro Soma is a starter. Bombino's a starter. But overall, like Zambrano, Cato Figueroa. Like, there's a lot of players here that you don't know if they're actually benched or it's just rotation. Remember, there's not a lot of rest between each games here.
Yeah, right. Been a lot of rotation. By the way, Olympic game today,
Mm-hmm.
kind of crazy. Started out in what looked very much like a 4-1-4-1, then switch in the second half to a 4-4-2. I think I think the days of this is the way we play are over at US Soccer. I don't think anybody's being forced like Tab Ramos was told. Hey, you're gonna have to play this way now. That's how Greg's gonna play. That's how all the teams are gonna play, and you're gonna have to play that way too. I think that's those days are gone because the women don't play like that, and U20s haven't been playing like Greg anymore. So the system seems gone.
It
And
seemed like Greg had a lot of influence when he was around on the other teams, which is terrible. He would, if he stayed longer, he would set back U.S. soccer years and years.
right now, the patterns of play are so much better now. Like it's watchable soccer. It's just such a relief. But imagine hiring someone like Emma Hayes and saying, "Hey, Emma, you got to play like Greg." No way. She would have said, "Well, suck it. I'm not taking the job. Then go shove it up your butt."
Yeah, Mitrovic, the team has been playing a lot better. Like one of the things with Greg Berhalter is we, despite being a team that we have a lot of good players that could play in transition, under Berhalter, we were never good in transition. We had no counterattack.
Yep.
But Mitrovic, the team looked quite dangerous today in transition. We looked very dangerous on the counterattack. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of changes. Like you said, different tactical formations. We're not just crossing, and praying for Christianity to Jesus drop to the field and score a header for us. Like we're not doing that anymore
Right.
with the U.S. men's national team, which is a lot better. Like I'm very much looking forward to seeing who we're going to hire as a coach and how much different the team is going to look.
Yeah.
Because we just grown accustomed to seeing Berhalter because it's been like that. Because it almost feels like life prior to the pandemic didn't even exist anymore at this point. We don't even remember it anymore.
Yeah.
And ever since the pandemic hit, we already had Berhalter the year before. So I almost forgot how the team played under Klinsmann at this point. I forgot about Bradley, even Bruce Arena, which was a big, well, not the old Bruce Arena, the one Bruce Arena from Cuva. Just forget about things at this point. But things are looking much brighter. It's just a matter of like who we hire now as a coach. Hopefully we get that right, that
Right.
part of the process right.
But I think
Julian,
that. Go ahead. Sorry.
no, go ahead. I'll read the super chat.
Well,
Go ahead.
I was going to say, but the great thing is, it looks like that Betty Crocker, and I will call him Matt if we get a good hire, by the way, another good hire. I will start calling him Matt Crocker. But right now, he's still Betty until I see what happens here. But it looks like to me, more and more than I look back on this, that Greg was kind of foisted on him and not the other way around. I think it seems to me that he was sort of pressured to rehire Greg because his hire of Emma Hayes, that's an out of the box. And now what we're hearing he's doing now, which is shooting for the stars. I think he might have done that back then, but there were heavy influences inside the doors of U.S. soccer that kept him from. And as he even said, I was brand new, and I don't know.
But let's put it this way: regardless of it, it's still his fault.
That's true.
It's still his fault. He can make up for it now. He has the opportunity to make up for it. It's not too late, and we will forgive him. We'll even remove the nickname. We'll stop calling him Betty Crocker. But yeah. So Julian Viva is saying, Tack, I would give Griffin Yao and Taylor Booth a chance with the senior team. Kevin Paredes as a backup left back. Do you agree with me? I think Griffin Yao has definitely earned a look at the senior team. Like bring him in a few we have friendlies coming up. Bring him in.
Yeah.
We know what Brendan Aronson can offer, for example, so we might as well see what Griffin Yao can offer. Kevin Paredes, yeah, it could be an option because he can play. He can play as a winger. He can play as a left back. He's shown he can defend. Like he's shown in the Olympics, he's tracking back, playing good defense. I would not be opposed to Kevin Paredes being the backup left back and a winger option too. Taylor Booth has looked good, but hasn't gotten enough opportunities in the Olympics. I think it's okay to give Taylor Booth a shot with the senior team, But from what I've seen so far, I would probably prioritize Griffin Yao, and I wouldn't really remove Christian Pulisic, Weah, or Haji Wright from the roster right now. So
Yeah.
maybe for Booth, maybe give September to Griffin Yao and October to Taylor Booth. Maybe do that and see how they play. Um,
I think the problem is, as you're pointing out, there's just not a lot of open space right now. If you're talking about wingers, you usually bring four, right?
yeah,
Maybe five if something weird happens. But then you got guys like Sargent and play wide too. So it's really crammed at the wing position. It's really crammed in the midfield. People were talking about Tessman. Well, Tessman should be called up. Well, who you got to knock off? You're going to take out Luca De La Torre? Well, okay, maybe. We'll see where Luca De La Torre goes in this transfer window. And if he's still a starter, maybe that's possible. But Tessman also has to play well in Serie A next season. And that's just not a given. I'm sorry. It's not a given. But like you, Brett and I have been also talking about, well, what about Maloney and Tessman as CB options in the future? Because the CB position, with Ream being 92 years old, that's going to be one of our weaker spots going forward. We need to start thinking about who can fill those spots. I think you were the one who brought up Tessman as a CB.
yeah. I mean, he has the player profile to CB, and I love it when some people disagreed on Twitter, and then of course because it's Twitter, right? And then
Right.
they like, for example, I was going back and forth with someone, and I said he has the player profile of a center back, more than a midfielder. He's very slow on the turn. He has range on his pass, so he can play as a center back. He has good anticipation, good reading of the game, size, positioning, good tackles, good interceptions. And he can't really play with his back to the defender. So center backs are usually facing them. So I thought he was more of a center back. And then some people are like, well, he has the player profile of a six. He has the player profile of Rodri. And understand when someone says he has the player profile of Rodri, they're not saying he's like Rodri. It's just a similar player profile. And to
Sure.
that, I reply to them saying, well, did you watch the 2022 World Cup? What position did Rodri play for Spain? He played center back.
Yeah.
And he has played center back for Man City in the past. I've seen it. So again, that's literally the profile of a center back. It's just Rodri's just so good. You can put him at the six, center back. He'll get it done. And I'm sure Tessman can play as a six. I just think personally that at a higher level, he'll probably play much better as a center back. That's what I think.
Well, we better start thinking about it because I don't think going forward, and just not to denigrate these players, I don't think Mark McKenzie, CCV, or even Trusty are people we want to put our faith in as, the reliable center backs going forward. I mean, we might get Brooks back because new coach, never know. Brooks plays for a new Bundesliga team next season, regular starter. It'll probably be for a bottom table Bundesliga team, but he'll be picked up by somebody and he'll start. And maybe he's back in the picture. But somebody, we got to start thinking because Richards can't be the only guy in our minds going forward here for 2026. You can talk about Dietz, you can talk about the Galaxy kid, but we got. Are they going to be ready by then? I don't know.
It doesn't seem like it, right?
That's a really big ask to ask Jalen Neal to be ready by 2026 to be a starter or even a backup for 2026. When we're probably going to bring, I don't know how many players we're going to be allowed to, but if it's back to just 23, I mean, that's going to shrink the field even more. You're probably going to bring 4 center backs tops. So
here's the thing about this game so far with Guatemala. We're actually not playing well these first 15 minutes.
No,
we're not playing well. Guatemala is going. By that I mean Guatemala is literally going toe to toe with us, which is. Remember, this is also a knockout game. Every second that goes by, every minute that goes by, 0-0. We can get knocked out today. If we get knocked out today, we miss out on the U-20 World Cup. Ooh,
Yep.
Cross goes in from Guatemala. There'll be a corner for Guatemala. We're definitely not a hot start. We do have a few things to our advantage. We have better players, so we don't need as many opportunities as them to punish the opponent. And again, we also have better depth, so our bench is much better. But again, not a good start for the United States so far.
Yeah, not great.
Or maybe I should not phrase it that way. Maybe I should phrase it good start for Guatemala. Maybe, I don't know.
better than expected. But then again, you said they were competitive against Mexico.
Yeah, but apparently they sucked against Panama too. So it's one of those. It's one of the like kind of like Guinea, right? They sucked against us. They sucked against New Zealand, but they were surprisingly good against France. Why? I don't know.
Thierry Henry.
Yeah, Henry really sucks, doesn't he?
I'm not. I'm glad that talk has died down a little because no, thank you, thank
Oh,
you.
good dummy from Sakidis.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
shot. Ooh, blocked. What's up?
if Charlie Davies would have legitimized that
Yeah,
discussion.
I don't know what's wrong with Charlie Davies because I talked about this in the video. He can have an opinion. Everyone can have an opinion, but I'm just wondering, uh, what metrics was he looking at when he said that Henri would be a good? What's the what besides Henri being a fantastic player? What is the metric for him being the coach? Like, what were you looking at?
I think he said he had a great aura, a great, he oozed confidence.
He has a six pack. He's got a six pack, guys. Like he's in better shape than Weston McKennie. So that's enough to be the U.S. men's national team. If that's the case, get Hervé Renard. Brian V is saying, I agree that Cameron Carter Vickers is still in Scotland, trusting the championship. Mackenzie in Belgium, not McKennie, Mackenzie in Belgium, Tessman in Italy, Maloney in Germany. The gap is different. They can adjust to those new center back roles. Yeah, Maloney has played center back, by the
He
way, in
has.
the past.
Yep.
So it wouldn't be something crazy. Tessman, I don't remember seeing him as a center back. So
And let's be honest, Maloney is like plays the deepest six in the Bundesliga. He's practically a third center back. I mean, it really is. He plays like 6 yards in front of the back line for most of the game.
Why is this Guatemalan team so violent?
I don't know. They're coming out aggressive for sure. That's like the second time I think that kid's been down.
They really want to make it to the U-20 World Cup, man.
I mean, it'd be big for them. I don't remember the last time Guatemala. I don't think they may have ever made a U-20 World Cup.
This is a good point here, too. I'd rather see Thierry Henry play for the U.S. men's national team right now than coaches. I think he would provide more playing, even retired.
He could still play, by the way.
Oh, yeah. He can definitely still play. One thing, like the technique, the class, you never lose that. He just doesn't have that pace that he used to have. That's all.
Right. Yeah. Those long strides he used to have.
I mean, I'll tell you one thing.
He didn't look fast, but he was.
Yeah, but he would not have dropped that stinker that Jesus Ferreira dropped against the Dutch in the World Cup. He would not have dropped that stinker.
Oh, no. No way. No way. That kid, Jesus Ferreira, and he's talked about it on his own. So this is nothing new, not breaking news or anything. But he has often battled with lack of confidence under stress, under pressure.
He talked about that?
He absolutely did. Yes. A year and a half ago, 2 years ago. No, it was 3 years ago. He talked about that. And he had a consultant, a psychologist, sports psychologist he was working with about his confidence. And he suffered from bouts of depression. And because of his own self-pressure on himself when he played. And so it's like he has a hard time in big moments. Just look at his playoff record compared to the regular season record. He's great during the regular season. But
so Greg didn't know that?
He knew. It's well known. It's well known.
So Greg knew, and then he's like, hey, Jesus, I gave you 0 minutes in the World Cup, but take this one, the biggest one.
Yeah. I don't know, man. You're going to crumble. I mean, all the signs were he would crumble.
No, he's like, you got this.
Well, that's very nice of Greg, and to not, label him and say, well, that's forever and he can never recover from that self-pressure that he puts on himself. But it was very evident in the World Cup. He kind of crumbled. Like he looked like he didn't belong, period. And he looked like he lacked confidence.
R2 Dad saying, Tack, you're getting soft. You say you're Brazilian? Like soft in what sense? Like fat or like legitimately like soft, like not tough? Like which one of the two?
Or Viagra soft. I don't know.
That one, no, I don't think he would know that. So
You're young. I'm sure it's all working properly.
it should be, yeah. I don't think he was talking about flaccid or saw flaccid.
Right. I just wondered. I don't know. I'm thinking of all perspectives.
Definitely also not fat.
No,
Oh,
that'd be
he meant he was talking about all the contact. No, I wasn't complaining about all the contact. The game is meant to be played physical. It's just when the ref allows certain things that the guy got
oh
knee, right? The ref has to stop. Like you can't put the players in danger essentially. And look, the American players, if you're getting hit back.
in 20 seconds you're about to see another assault by Guatemala on our players.
Another one, I just saw the American blast the ball in the Guatemalan player.
Yep, it's coming in about 10.
It's like if you're getting hit all the time, you hit back. And by hit back, I don't mean hit it like Tim Weah, don't punch the guy, but go hard for 50-50s. Let's see what happened. I'm about to see it, Derek, what you said. So someone's about to get decked. I'm not seeing anything, Derek. Are you like 3 minutes ahead of me?
Might be at this point. I'm at 23 even right now.
Oh, that was just body. The guy
Yeah.
ignored the ball.
Yeah. He's just like, have a little of my hip.
Well, at least the ref gave a yellow. That's how you calm the game down a little bit. It's like that guy that has a yellow. He's probably not going to do that again. Oh, that's definitely a yellow, dude. Don't even complain about it. That's a yellow.
Yeah. There was no effort to go to the ball at all. None.
No.
Right.
No.
Where's Pete?
Pete has the flu, so he might pop in and out. He was a little down during the Olympics, even though we won. He kept the stream also short, the post game. Yeah, so Pete he said it's not COVID, but at the end of the day, like flu or COVID, the symptoms are like the same. They're shit. So
They're very similar. Yeah.
yeah, the symptoms are terrible.
I've had the beer bug twice. That was a long time ago now, and that is after getting the blue beer bug serum. I still got it.
It's crazy how we have to measure everything we say in this platform.
I know. I don't know what we're allowed to say or what we're not allowed to say. I don't. I really don't.
Yeah, we never know. There was and this might get me. Well, I'll just try to say it in a different way. There's this movie called the Coke Bear, the Coca-Cola Bear.
Yeah.
Right? And I kept saying not Coca-Cola. I kept saying,
the word.
Yeah, the word that people use. So, and my video got like the monetization became limited.
Yeah.
And I was referring to the movie.
Yeah, no. I mean, it happens to Brett and I on the regular. And then, it's a 2-hour show. Well, last night was 3 hours. So, what are we going to do? Comb through the whole show to figure out exactly what it was that we said? We definitely know you can't use the H-man word anymore. You can literally not say a guy's name from history who led the Germans during World War II. You cannot use his name. We figured that out, even though we were denigrating the dude, right? Obviously, we were saying bad things about him. Because
I would hope. It's like I would hope.
Well, it was some idiot compared our logo.
Oh, I was there.
That's right. What the hell, dude?
Yeah, I was there, and I was like, no, it doesn't look like him at all.
So ridiculous.
Yeah, it's very interesting what you can or cannot say. What was it too? I think it was like when the war that's happening in Europe right now, which even that you don't know if you can say, right?
I know.
We're almost talking here through like Morse code eventually. Yeah, and then YouTube can't do anything. But it was like I made a joke about Mr. Vladimir, right?
Yeah.
I made some fun of Mr. Vladimir, and it's also limited my monetization. I was like, dude, I'm making fun of him. Leave me alone. Is there any comedy left in this world? Are we allowed to make jokes about anything?
That's the biggest problem with our show. Honestly, like we don't know because we say so many jokes which one was the one that crossed over the line. We don't know. It's impossible for us to figure out which one it was.
Apparently, sex jokes are 100% okay because Spicy Jeff sends everything he wants and nothing ever happens. You can
Well,
go over the top of that one.
we're on, that's on the regular for us. So hell, we even have a girl at the beginning of our intro talking about the A kind of sex. Or
Oh, that
just,
one I'm sure you can say it was anal sex. Yeah, that one.
yeah, yeah. And we don't get limited for that, so that's good. We were worried about it.
Yeah, just to make it clear to everyone, it's not that like the words we mentioned, it's not that YouTube cancels us, it's just that limits monetization. So if we want to like make some money off the work here, we need to just be careful. You can say it, you're probably not going to get canceled, but it'll limit like every single video. Maybe hurt the algorithm, maybe.
Yeah. And let's be
Um,
really clear, even though you totally kick our ass as far as the number of subs you get and views, you can't make a living doing this. It's impossible.
no, you would need probably with the sponsor, it's good. I would say that. But
Better.
to make a living off of it, probably need to double the views for my channel.
Yeah.
I'll probably say that double.
We would have to quadruple
Yeah.
or more.
That's probably what it is because yeah, it's more like for bigger channels. But again, this is more of like a passion project.
It is. It is. People think we're out here just, to make money. That's just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I mean,
Well,
listen, we could do that. Like if we started a political show tomorrow and those shows make, doesn't matter what side you're on, they make crap loads of money.
oh yeah, if you make a political stance, it's over. You're blowing up. But it's quite interesting about this because I remember some people because at least he stopped now because he kind of disappeared. But that weirdo Jake kept like talking about us every month, at least me and Pete every month. And then someone once sent me saying that he was like talking about how me and Pete were like full time just working on YouTube, and that was his dream too, like Jake, whatever, to do that. It was like we do work probably over 40 hours a week on YouTube. That is
Yeah.
true. That is
Yeah.
true. But I literally have my own after school soccer company here. I coach. I have coaches too that we hire. That is like I don't just do this. Like
Right.
it wouldn't like make ends meet. So, um, but it's just quite remarkable how delusional some people are, like himself, right? Thinking of that.
Yeah. And
What the,
he's disappeared, by the way. He hasn't done a show for.
he might have like an ingrown toenail or something.
I think he pulled a left testicle.
Or the right one, or both.
You are both. Yeah. That's a severe one when you pull both.
Or the one he has. Maybe one. You never know. Might have one. You don't know. Or three.
Oh, Jesus.
You never know. You never know how many testicles a guy has. You never know.
I just think it was so needless in the end. We would all been friendly to one another. Just doesn't make any sense, really.
I mean, I kind of had issues with him back then when Colin Reese was coming after me on Twitter. I replied back, and I was coming after Colin Reese because he told me to go back to my country, essentially. And then Jake asked me to have sympathy for the guy. I was like, that was my main issue with him years ago. That was
sympathy
like
for him telling you to go back to your country. You were an American.
I don't remember. I'm paraphrasing what Colin Reese said, but you know how Colin can be, right? So
Yeah.
he said something along those lines. He said something along the lines of like either go back to your country or you don't belong to this, something like that. And then I came after the guy, rightfully so, in a very aggressive way because I usually do that. It's not like it's just him. I do that to most people that spit nonsense. And then
Right.
Jake even deleted the tweet after whatever. He was like asking to have sympathy for the guy. That was what really pissed me off. And the fact that he kept inviting himself to my channel, where I usually bring people to the channel for some type of value. So what would be value? It would be information, knowledge, or entertainment. I
Sure.
didn't think Jake brought any of those three, so I wouldn't bring him to the channel. That's the only reason.
Yeah. We actually had him on our channel. And
I
we
know.
were on his, and
I went to his. I do that to every channel. Every channel that's starting, and he was starting at the time. When they invite me, and dude, all these channels know. They'll have 100 subscribers. I will say, do you guys want me to go? I will go, because then I'll share your video and some people will find you and maybe you can grow. Try to motivate more people to do it. I've always done that. And I did that
Right.
to him. And he is an ungrateful piece of shit. That is the truth. Because then after that, he just shits on us all the time. I don't know what's wrong with that guy. But I literally did that. He might have had 300, 200. I don't know. Nothing. I gained nothing from it. I just went to his channel to help.
Yep.
To help.
No. Yeah. And I would do the same thing, but nobody asked me to come on their show anymore. I mean, except for you, Pete. I've been on Max's show a couple times, but you
And
guys.
Anthony, yeah, thank you for the super chat. Antonio, actually, Antonio, not Anthony. And C2 saying Jake disappeared because a bunch of us told him we won't watch him any longer. But listen, I don't think anyone should not watch him because he shits on me, Derek, or Pete. If you guys enjoy his content, he can shit on us all he wants. You can watch it. I don't think anyone needs to boycott Jake's channel. I think what he did was like childish. It was very stupid, also, and very ungrateful from his end. But I don't think, and I don't also support anyone boycotting his channel because he acted like an asshole. That's my opinion. I mean, if you guys don't want to watch him because he did it, that's fine. I'm just saying I don't endorse that part.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I still read his articles, but he hasn't written an article in a number of weeks, like 3 weeks. He hasn't put up a show for weeks. So I don't know what he's given up, but that could be what you guys are saying, that people stop watching. So, but he was, when he came back, I was supportive of him. I said, hey, I actually texted him and say, glad that you're back, and I'm wishing you the best on your new show. Not a word. Not a word, because apparently I was already, in his mind, a jabroni. So there you go.
Jeez, look at this. The field is so bad. The ball, like, there was a moment where the ball was gonna bounce and it just kind of hit the floor and it stayed.
Which pitch is this?
It's in Mexico. They changed the cities, I think, but this is a horrible field.
It is. It looks horrible.
Well, and here's the issue: we are the better side, the more technical side, and usually when you play in a shit field, it kind of evens up a little bit more the level.
Yeah, it does.
Flip Silvar saying thoughts on Rogério Micali. He has Egypt looking good. Micali is an interesting one because he took over Egypt right for the Olympics. And what's the name? He beat France today, right? He beat France. They advanced with 7 points to the knockout rounds. Oh, Guatemala. And Micali actually, I don't know if many people know this. He won the Olympics with Brazil in 2016. The first Olympics that Brazil won, the first gold medal. Micali was the coach, the one led by Neymar. So he has experience in this tournament for whatever that's worth. He didn't do well in the club level in Brazil, but Egypt looked really good under him, and he has won the Olympics. He won in 2016. So it'll be fun to follow along to see how Egypt does.
Since I was a small boy, Egypt, Tunisia, Morocco have always been really steady, decent teams. Always been good. Always been. It wasn't until like the late 80s, 90s, you started seeing mid-continental African teams really start to stand out and start clobbering the Egypts and the Tunisias and the Moroccos. But North Africa for a long time dominated African soccer. That's changed, but it is good to see Egypt back in the fold.
I mean, they do have Mo Salah, one heck of a player right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Burnt toast. Just to end this topic on Jake, because Burnt Toast put this comment, and I'll address it because I think it's actually something important to mention. He said, I watched some of his videos, don't mind some of his takes, but on a personal level, he kind of rubs me the wrong way. He probably rubs you the wrong way. And from what I heard, his content is not like bad in terms of the production. He knows how to do that job. But he probably rubs you the wrong way because Jake's not authentic. He keeps flip-flopping around in his personality. He's like a big critic of this, but then he's Mr. Positive of that. And then he comes, like, for example, he's a fake person because he brought me to his channel. He complimented it. I've always been the same. You guys watch my channel for years. I've always been this way. Sometimes over the top, sometimes nice, sometimes very aggressive, sometimes scandalous, whatever. I've always been this way. And he kissed my ass essentially when I went to his channel. And then after that, I'm no good. I'm an asshole. I'm immature. I'm this and that because I didn't have him on because whatever it was, he just didn't like. He changed. He went against everyone. He loved the straight red card. They were great people, and then all of a sudden they're a bunch of jabonis with no credibility. He's a fake person. That is the truth. And again, you can separate his content from the person, and if you like his content, you watch it. That's what I was saying. You shouldn't sabotage or boycott. You can boycott if you want, but you shouldn't do it for that sense. But as a person, he is fake. I can guarantee you guys that he is fake. Like me or not, like my way or not, I am authentic. You guys see me on Twitter, you guys see me on here. I am authentic. Am I right? Am I wrong? That's a whole different discussion. But that guy is fake.
You
I can
gotta
assure you that.
you know when you have good friends when they're there for you during the rough times, right? And that's what we all need to do as content creators is support each other. And yeah, are we always going to agree? Hell no. But I'm not calling you a name because I disagree with what
Well,
you
I'm
say.
calling him a name. He's a little snake. That's what
Well,
he is.
no, but that relationship was broken by him, right?
Oh yeah. All I did was I went to his channel to help him grow in the beginning because obviously I know how hard it is in the beginning, and I wish I had some content creator help. As honestly, the one person he that I'm very grateful for in the beginning was kicking it with Drew, which he had a kid and he ended up quitting or kind of coming back and because it couldn't.
He made a show a couple of weeks ago, I think.
Sometimes, yeah, he's just been very busy with life. But in the beginning, when I started, I was starting to get views, and then Kicking with Drew had me on. I had him on, and that helped a lot because some U.S. fans already found me. It helped, and that's what I took moving forward. Is if a new channel pops up and I see it, I was like they're working hard and they look like they're good people. And I thought Jake was a good person actually the first time I met him because he was super nice. I misjudged that. I don't think he's a good person, to be honest. But here's the thing. I always do that. And I try to go to these channels when they're starting because I'm like, look, I'll share it. Some of the audience will stay with them and it'll help them get started. It'll motivate them. That's it. That is it.
Yep. And you came on our show, I think not, it was within a year, probably, not right away, but we didn't ask you. So no big deal. And that's what we all have. I would do the same thing to support other people if asked, but I don't get asked a whole lot because I think people are a little nervous what's going to come out of my mouth. When I went on Max Brotto's show, he explicitly told me before the show that I was not allowed to curse and or talk about any of the funky things I talk about. But they're all just jokes. Just jokes.
Yeah, that's the overall point to end it with. Yeah, guys, it is Jake Landau, which, like I said, I thought he was a good guy in the beginning. I went to his channel, I shared his video, then he kept like annoying quite a bit. But overall, that's what it is. Let's move on to the game. And I'll tell you one thing. It's been kind of stressful this game with the US because
Yes.
we're not being able to connect any passes. It's scrappy.
Yep.
We're getting out hustled and out muscled by Guatemala. It's not looking good.
No, it's not. It's unfortunate. Yeah.
Getting worried? Are you getting worried?
Game's not flowing for us at all. No flow. No flow. And it looks a little bit more like Berhalter Bowl, to be honest with you, especially with the kicking around the shoehorn bullshit that we continue to do and the lack of movement and the predictability of play. It's so easy that they can shift back into this low. Well, it's sort of a mid block now, but they're not even worried about us on the attack. Honestly, they're not.
No. We're playing cortisol ball right now. Cortisol ball. Very stressful.
Oh, jeez. Well, I hope Pete gets better. Sorry to hear that. I know he's been traveling a lot for his job. Yes, we all here. I mean, Pete, you, me, Brett, we all work. We all have real jobs. And, this, as you said earlier, is a labor of love. It's a labor of love.
Michael is asking, just tuned in, where to watch. You can watch it on VIX app. You can get the VIX app, VIX, or Fox Sports 2. Fox Sports 2 has the game too. And Beans is saying, "Hey, Tack, in a dream scenario, where network TV offered you a job as an analyst pundit, would you do it or keep doing YouTube for fun?" Personally, I'd prefer to keep doing YouTube for fun. There's a lot of freedom in what I do here, what I can say. Even if a network gives you a lot of freedom or some freedom, there's always going to be more restrictions there than here. Along with the fact that depending on the network, I would have to move. I don't really want to leave Florida. I like the weather. I know a lot of people here, a lot of the Latin culture. So honestly, no, it would have to be too much money. No one would pay me enough money to convince me of that. So no, and also just to finalize, there is no network right now that I really like.
And
Like
there's no network that would hire you. And honestly, who is the most controversial figure calling games or
Lala's.
calling? Yeah, Lawless, and he's like zero not controversial except for his political views. But what is he saying that's so damn controversial out there, or is he really challenging the norm that often enough for him to be threatening to anybody in establishment soccer? No, of course he's not. The things you have said, the things we have said, the things Pete has said, those are threatening things. And they will never forgive anybody who did that. Like Kirk is not even allowed to interview U.S. players anymore.
Yeah, Lala's is not a anti-establishment guy. He's controversial in the sense that he gets the most scandalous possible take when it comes to soccer and he spits it out.
Right. Yeah. And then look, like a guy like Winalda who did announcing for years can't get a job doing punditry now. Can't get one and will not be asked, won't be offered one.
Yeah, don't you think a lot of it is on him actually?
A little, yeah. I
I
mean,
mean,
he's
look, he is also the guy that said he affirmed a week prior that Greg Berhalter would not get fired regardless of the result. Then he quickly changed it back after that. He says a lot of things that are true, but he does also just sometimes say things over the top that are just like, dude, it just hurts your credibility.
yeah, because people expect you, Eric Winalda, to know something when it comes out of your mouth, and when you get it wrong, 50% or 70 or 30% of the time, it kills your
Well,
credibility.
not the worst part is not getting it wrong because things can change. Like you can say that Greg Berhalter is not going to get fired, or you can say I think he won't get fired.
There
But
you
he didn't
go.
say that. He affirmed.
Right.
He was like, guys, it doesn't matter what happens in the Uruguay game. He's not leaving, which wasn't true, right? It
Right.
wasn't true.
Wasn't.
Uh, and he changed that right after too. Like that's the main issue. That's what made because he can go out and say I don't think he'll get fired. And sure, we're going to assume he has some inside information, but we're not going to hold him accountable to it because it was just his opinion.
Right. As long as it's your opinion, you make it really clear, then it's like if you get it wrong, you just get it wrong. But if you're speaking from authority, as if you have inside info and you don't clarify that it's your opinion, but we're going to assume you know something, and that's bad. And that's why that Doug McIntyre thing pissed me off when he was on, when Jimmy asked him about who the next coach is going to be. And he said, oh, it's Tarundolo. And it's like, okay, well, make sure you add after saying that, in my opinion, it should be Tarundolo. But he didn't do that. And that pissed me off, dude. That's called bad reporting. And that's not reporting, that's punditry. And he should have made it very clear he was making his own personal prediction, not reporting any news.
Well, there's a lot of things too. Like for example, the Gio Reyna saga in the World Cup. Where now that definitely knew something because he
Yeah.
probably talked to Claudio. But let me ask you one thing: um, is it worth mentioning that in the middle of the World Cup and spicing up the drama just for clicks?
Yeah, I know. Was it Seb that called him out for that? I think it was Seb.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, and he holds that grudge till this day. Yeah.
oh, yes, he does, by the way. I can tell you that. There's no
It's like
doubt.
it's something that he wasn't wrong, and I actually at the time I wasn't one of the guys that questioned his information. I just stay quiet because I was like, he could be right. I'm pretty sure if he said that, he got some info.
Yeah.
But my overall point was like, why say it in the middle of the World Cup? Like maybe after say, hey, Gio didn't play because he had issues with Berhalter, but why in the middle, right? It's not really. It's just like it almost screams that you want attention, rather
It
than I don't know.
it does, unless maybe, and I don't imagine this to be the case, but maybe someone like Claudio or I don't know who said, "Can you leak this out because our son's not playing and we need to put pressure on Greg." I don't think that happens, but that's the only other thing I can possibly imagine going down.
Oh, even if that did happen, which is a possibility, it's not too crazy of a theory. Eric Wijnaldum is a guy that's very independent. He's a very independent guy in terms of like
Yes,
what he does.
right.
So he could just say, "Nah, dude, I'll say it after the World Cup." But right now, no.
Hmm.
Like he's not a guy that's like taking orders from people. That's my point.
But I don't think that Eric has an off button. I think that's the real problem for him getting a job. He doesn't have an off button. Like you can't say he doesn't have a regulatory button where he regulates what he says. I mean, maybe he does, but it's not very evident sometimes.
Um,
But I like that about him. That's what I like about. That's the part of the Eric that I like is no regulation. It just
uh,
spews out.
but Mike is asking in the chats like, why are you guys mad at Eric? Maybe fan pressure works. Like, guy, we're not
We're not.
mad at
We
Eric.
are
No,
not mad at Eric. I love Eric.
no. The reason we brought this up was he was talking about how he's pretty much banned from U.S. soccer media.
Yes.
So what we were saying is like that's a lot on them being soft and all that. But I also said Eric does bring a lot on himself too. That's what we were. That was the point we were bringing.
He's unpredictable. He's absolutely unpredictable. And if you can't manage someone who's that unpredictable. And let's be honest, every major network wants to manage the people under them and manage what they say and what they can and cannot say. And you cannot manage an Eric Wijnaldum. He's unmanageable. That's not being mean to Eric at all. I love Eric. We just had him on the show not long ago. He's a great guy. He's very good to us and very kind to us. And but yeah, networks today want manageable characters on their show, like the Cooligans guy that's on CBS.
Puppets.
Yes. And I'm not calling that guy a puppet, but I'm just saying he's manageable, right? I mean, if you want to, as Tax said, make that into puppets, that's fine too. I just think that that's what they're all looking for. Somebody that, like Davies is almost teetering on unmanageable sometimes, but then when it really comes down to it, he sucks up and takes the establishment, point of view. So you can't be an outlier, right? You just can't be. It's not acceptable. It's not welcomed. And that's just the honest to goodness truth. I'd love to have an unpredictable character like Eric Wijnaldum on CBS every day. That would be fun.
Well, they want a guy that they'll say you can't say this, and he will 100% not say it. And when you talked about the guy from the Cooligans, if they tell him you can't say this, he won't say it.
Right.
Well, Eric, right now that you might say it and to not say this, and he might not say it, but he might also say it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He might say, "Screw you, I'm saying it anyhow." Yep. And he told us. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say when Eric was on a show, he told us about these instances when he was calling games, MLS games, where he would get calls from MLS. And they're like, "You can't say that. You can't say that anymore." And he'd be like, "Why?" And they're like, "You just can't. Then don't ask us why." He would get calls. So I think that was on the show and not after the show when we weren't on air. But either way, it happened to him.
Yeah, and then someone's saying McBride is the worst. Dude, Brian McBride's commentary is freaking abysmal.
He's been told too, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, what he's been told by CBS is, please don't be that shilly anymore. No one will accept you on that show if you continue to shill that badly.
Wait, they told me that?
Oh yeah. They said you can shill. You can be for the establishment, but you can't shill that hard because otherwise nobody's going to watch Jimmy and Davies anymore if you're the guest. because everybody loved Miola because Miola is not a shill. Miola knows how to like walk the line right on it and not tip over it. But yeah, because since then, since that time where McBride was talking about how Shaq Moore was the best right back, defensive right back we had, he has not said anything as egregious since then.
They probably got a lot of bad comments, but at the end of the day, I'm not
They
gonna lie to
did.
you. They're all shills. It's just different levels of shills. So, um,
Yeah, I mean, we don't tend to use the word chills, but they're definitely compromised. That's the word we use. They're all compromised at some level or another.
some more than others, but yes, that's essentially it. Uh,
The reason we can't say chills is we know a lot of those guys. So, I
well,
mean,
yeah, I'll say it for you. I got you.
I think they're compromised. That's what I'm going to stick with.
Um, Michael is saying, any news, rumors on the new U.S. men's national team coach? No, there's no further updates. Last I heard was they met with coaches already. They already met with the coaches. They had the meetings and the interviews with the coaches, and they are coaches that are living or were at the following countries: England, Germany, and Spain. Those were the locations that they met up with these coaches. I have no idea which coaches they were. I don't know if they're available. I don't know if they're free agents. I don't know if the decision was made, if they won it. So, no other information. That's all I know. And they're done at the meeting. So, apparently, the next step is the hiring, which means I would probably expect an announcement either next week or the other week. So, I would say within the next I'd say put an announcement between the next like 14 to 20 days, like 2 to 3 weeks. They'll probably, because once they make a decision, which I don't know if they have, they're going to have to negotiate contract and all that. So probably 14 to 21 days, we should get an answer. If we don't get anything in the next 14 to 21 days, get worried. That's what I heard, because that means they're going to start moving down the list.
Settling.
Yes. So if we don't get an announcement by like August 20th, yeah, get worried, because it's probably going to be shit.
So
I'm dead serious.
So the Spain interviews were Klopp and Benitez.
Well,
That'd be
Benitez lives in England, right? He's Spanish, but he lives in England.
okay. Okay, so it would have been just Klopp, or because it's not De La Fuente, because that was just his agent trying to get more money.
Yeah,
Out of
I know
Spain.
it could have just been Klopp, because Klopp is living in Spain. Who did we meet in Germany? I don't know. Maybe there was a meeting with Pellegrino Materazzo. Maybe.
Oh God, please may that be true. Please,
Um,
please God.
Now England. Maybe we met with Pochettino. Maybe met with him. I don't know. He's living in London, right?
That's what
Apparently.
somebody said on X, but I don't trust anything on X. So, well, not much, at least.
Where's
Um,
Thomas Tuchel living? Did we meet with him in Germany? Maybe.
I think he lives in Germany. Yeah.
I know some people hate him, but I'm going to say for the U.S. men's national team, I would not hate that hire.
I just personally can't stand him, but that's just me.
That's
I
fine. I can't stand him either. He's a goofy figure, but I'm saying that he is a qualified coach. And you know what's a big thing about Tuchel? He's a knockout coach, knockout round coach.
and he doesn't take any shit or suffer fools. And so that leadership group team council, that's gone as soon as he steps on it. In fact, the only coaches that would probably keep that would be, if hired, Dolo and Southgate.
Yeah, Southgate, and yeah, I don't think even Wilfred Nancy would take shit.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, that whole leadership council thing is probably the worst thing. Like I played on multiple teams as a Ute. There was never a leadership council. We knew who the leaders were. It's pretty obvious. The coach didn't need to make a leadership council.
No, the leadership council also just shows the coach has favoritism for certain players, which you have the leaders, right? Which is just by default, but you can't really have that too explicit with the coach, right? Like favoritism at this
Right.
point.
I agree. It makes it an us versus them thing, and that's never good. And nobody likes to suck up to the coach, by the way. At least not in my era. If you were a suck up to the coach, you were a suck up to the coach. But the guy that ended up being the captain of our team was not a suck up to the coach, David Ward. He was just the best midfielder on the team. And he was a leader, like born as a leader. And everybody knew he was the leader of the team. It was simple as that.
Yep. Oh, Pete, is Pete alive? Pete's in the chat, so he's at least he's alive.
Leadership Council's a joke. It is, man.
Pete's at home right now, coughing blood. Ugh,
Oh, Jesus.
nasty. Diarrhea everywhere, Derek. Everywhere. He's pooping all over the floor. It's nasty. They don't know if it's Pete. They don't know if it's Taco, his dog. They just don't know it. I invited guys. Pete has the link. He'll be here if he's feeling good. I'm joking. He's not having diarrhea. Just has a flu. Bad.
And a left testicle strain. But other than that, he's fine.
Yeah, the testicle will be all right. The flu kind of sucks.
He said his throat's on fire. Sorry to hear that, man. We're sorry to poking fun of you. I hope you get better, man.
He'll be good. He'll be good soon. Yeah, but the only thing that's concerning here is this game is looking a lot tougher than expected. We got 45 minutes to go to qualify to the U-20 World Cup. If Guatemala scores, the way this game is scrappy, the field is shit, they're being physical. I don't know. The main thing with it too is at this point of the game, we have better backups. We have better subs. That can play in our favor, but we got to win it during the 90 minutes. The longer this goes.
Yeah, I think we need to change shape too. I don't like the way this is looking right now. It's too predictable. The patterns of play are too predictable. We need to change shape. If that means playing 2 center forwards, let's do it. Let's get some guys up in the box. Something's got to change. Hey, 4-4-2, baby. Let's do it. Let's do it. That's what I say.
Jeff Carey is saying, Tack has encouraged me to stop taking off my pants. What do you think, Derek?
I'm not wearing any pants right now either.
You did not have to share that information.
I'm wearing shorts, but not pants.
Okay. Well, in that case, I also have shorts on.
Yes, I do. I have shorts on. So, I mean, yeah, they're skimpy shorts. But I live alone, people. I live alone. Okay? What am I going to walk around my house with a full set of clothes on? For what reason? If you lived alone, you'd be half naked most of the time as well. You would. Admit it. You would.
That's true.
It's comfortable.
That's true. Also, the less clothes you use at home, the less laundry you have to do because you only use the clothes you go outside.
Correctamundo.
And doing laundry sucks. Burger King said, we recently interviewed Greg Berhalter. The bozo was unqualified. I'm not surprised. Look, if I owned a Burger King franchise, well, one, I'd probably have some good money because I'm assuming it does well. I would assume.
Not Burger King.
No, it doesn't? Okay,
No.
So I don't have a Burger King franchise. I'm never going to have one. But if I did, I would definitely not hire Berhalter as the manager or anything. Nothing.
Joe says, by the way, he lives alone. That's not a surprise. Hey, listen, guy, dude, Joe, I'm divorced.
Jack.
Whatever your name is. I'm divorced. My kids are out of the house. Okay, both of them. They're graduated from college. They got real jobs. I've done what I needed to do in life. My dog died a couple of years ago, so now it's just me. Okay? What's the big deal? Why is that unfortunate? Of course I live alone because I choose to live alone. Man, people are really judgmental. All right. Burger King's awful.
Joe said divorce, not surprised. It is funny. It is funny. You got to give it to Joe.
I am hard to get along with, Joe. That is true. Very difficult to get along with me. I am, yeah.
Derek, may I make you a recommendation?
Okay, yeah, I'm open.
You're still young enough to be able to deal with this. So buy a basset hound.
God, no. They're stinky when they get
That
older.
is true. They drool all over the place, but they're very good to cuddle.
So one of my best friends had a basset hound, and it lived till it was like 18, 19, 20 years old. It was the stinkiest dog ever on the planet. So
because he pees and he steps on it. He's very low in the body, so sometimes his belly goes on pee. He drools all over the place. They are stinky.
Yeah. If I did it again, I'd go with a Papillon again. I don't know if you know what a Papillon is,
I'll
but
look it up.
they're like the fourth smartest dog in the world. And Gizmo was definitely smart as a son of a gun. Unbelievably smart. He is my companion for 17, 16 years. And he died 2 years ago, July 22nd, unfortunately. He was my best buddy for, almost 2 decades. Loved him to death. I love dogs, but I don't think I would go with a basset hound. I love bassets. I love all animals. I love dogs in particular. But you know what? I love the freedom of not having a dog because if you're single like me, and I go work all day, my dog's got to sit in the house freaking 8 hours a day. That's not
Oh,
fair
I
to the
thought you were
dog.
gonna say when you bring a lady back home.
No, I don't know. Dude, I am done with the ladies. All right. I had my fair share. I had a really great run and I'm just done. I don't need the drama. Don't need the relationship drama. Don't need any of that, Jack. No. I'm done. I enjoy this. This is like solace to me. And I'm kind of a lone wolf anyhow. So this is back to my where I started in the beginnings. Derek, do you like bananas?
Yeah, Jeff Carey wants to know if you like bananas.
I like bananas Foster, but not just a straight up banana. And if you're talking about body part insertion, no, I'm not really into that, Jeff. But thanks
Yeah,
for
because you
asking.
never know with Jeff, right? You never know what he's actually asking.
You're
Green, are you a born again virgin, Derek?
like a virgin, ooh, touched for the very first time. That's a little out of my range,
Yeah,
guys.
we keep Madonna out of the channel. No Madonna here.
Yeah, no, I mean, I lost my virginity in 1987, guys. So I don't know what to tell you. It's a long time ago.
Too many details, man. Way too many details.
Thank you, Jessica in Carlisle, Pennsylvania.
Oh Lord, like even the name and location, that's too much. Too much.
I didn't give you your last name. I'm sure there are thousands of Jessicas that live
In Pennsylvania, there's like 3 Jessicas. Maybe 4.
I think there are more than that. I think there are more of that. Actually, I used her full name once on a show a couple of years ago on accident and felt horrible about it.
Poor lady.
Yeah. But she was 2 years older than me. She was a senior. And I was a junior, but I was I was born August 1st. So I was always a year younger than everybody else in my class. So
too much info. Too much info.
Anyhow, I just want to thank her.
Oh boy.
What would I?
They're like, because someone asked that to me and Pete last time. We're like, guys, too much info from our lives. Like, go. And they're like, Derek's an open book.
I am an open book.
That's why I'm cutting Derek off a little bit, because my fear is if I keep letting him go, if I if I take the leash off, he will go into way too, I don't know, he'll start showing pictures. I gotta.
We have showed her picture on our show too.
There you go.
Me with her at the prom. Yeah, 1987. No shit.
Like, was it at Hershey, Pennsylvania? Is there any chance that you are Christian Pulisic's dad?
No, there isn't. But it was in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, where the it's officers training. There's a military base there, Carlisle Barracks. My dad had to go there to take classes to become a general, which he never did, but he did become a full bird colonel. So I lived there for a year, 1987. Carlisle, Pennsylvania. It's a beautiful town. Beautiful town. Not far from Philadelphia, about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours.
So back to the game here. 47 minutes. So 2 minutes into the second half right now. No substitutions. We are playing like crap. We're not did we hit a shot on target? We didn't, I think, all game. No shot on target. 0-0. Worth a spot in the U-20 World Cup. This is our worst performance, even though last game we weren't that good either against, what's the name? Costa Rica that we played? Yeah, Costa Rica. It seems like we've been slowly declining in this U-20, right? Because we destroyed Jamaica in a non-xenophobic way, of course. And then we defeated, what's his name again? We defeated Cuba 4-0 in the Missile Crisis Derby, where we had to defeat communism once again. And then we beat Costa Rica 1-0, and Costa Rica actually got a red card early in the second half last game. So we haven't really played well in the last few, and we really need to get a goal as soon as possible because the field is shit. And if Guatemala gets the first goal, we're screwed.
You're about to be happy, though.
Oh, so we're scoring?
I
Oh,
don't
that
think.
ruins it for me. We're scoring, aren't we? We're scoring. Cross goes in. Okay. What's happening here? Oh, golazo.
Yes,
Oh,
right in the corner.
oh.
Yep, beautiful.
What a shot. Who was that? Vasquez? Who shot that?
I'm still waiting for them to tell me, but I got my headphones on, so I can't hear anything.
Oh, what a wonderful shot.
Number 20? Who's number 20?
That's that is Ruben Ramos Jr.
Huh.
Beautiful shot. Ruben Ramos Jr. Golazo. A lot of time and space though, but like no one pressed him, right? They're just like, yeah, have it.
Yeah. Not saying anything. You know what's great about this U20s? So versus Costa Rica, we played a 4-4-2 predominantly most of the game. Versus Cuba, we played
Derek,
a 4.
one second. Do you have the TV on with
Yeah.
the sound?
Yeah.
Just turn it down a little bit.
Okay.
Just a little bit because I can hear it over you too. So they don't copyright strike me.
Okay, I
Go
got
ahead.
it on like 6. Versus Cuba, then we played a 4-2-3-1. Versus Jamaica, we played a 3-4-2-1 or a 3-4-3, whatever you want to call it. The great news is there again, like it's pretty much we've set these coaches free. They do not have to play 4-3-3 Berhalter system ball anymore. They just don't. They can do whatever they want. Whatever they wake up in the morning and feel like doing, they can now do it. And so the leash is off. The leash is off. Because these teams, U20 teams and the U23s, and for the last number of years have looked so much like Berhalter ball. Now, this first half, unfortunately, looked a lot like Berhalter ball still. But the fact that we've got this incredible diversity of setups now and formations, and that the patterns of play are different than they've been for a while.
Well, it felt like Berhalter had way too much influence on. I heard he even had a say on picking the coaches for the youth teams, and like Jason Kreis was him talking like that is a major problem, right? He has too much say, especially when your philosophy is shit, right? It's not Pep Guardiola picking stuff for us. It's Berhalter having way too much influence in U.S. soccer.
So
but again,
a part of that died when Ernie left a little bit, but it wasn't abandoned at all because it was Ernie and Greg together that did this. Like this is the way we're going to play from the youth all the way up to the big boy teams and big girl teams, right? So when Ernie left, that was step 1. When Greg now left, that's step 2. It's freedom. Freedom! Freedom. That's what it looks like to me. I don't have any, official report that that's true, but it sure looks that way. When's the last time one of our Nats played a 4-4-2 for a full game? Well, I can't even think of it.
The thing with it was like, if you look at our youth teams, everything, we always played his style of play, and that ship has definitely sailed. We saw that with the Olympic team. We're seeing that a little bit here with the U20s. And I'll even argue that those teams, he still had some minor influence over them.
Vlatko, for the women's team, played Berhalter ball. So it was across the board, not men's, just and women's too. So that's
Berhalter was even we can blame Berhalter for the women's failing.
No, that was Ernie. That's on Ernie. Now, whatever Ernie's done since he's gone to PSV, good job. But Ernie isn't telling that coach how to coach the team, right? But they did. If you go back to their old charter when Ernie got there and you read it, it's like there will be a across the board consistent way. The way we play will be consistent from top to bottom. And there will be the system will be consistent from top to bottom. I don't know if I can find that on US Soccer site anymore, but that was the old charter. was the old charter. That charter looks to have been ripped up and torn up and thrown away, which is great news for all of us. You should play the way that your team will play its best way. That meaning you don't have a set system. You look at what you've got at the players you've got, and you said, what system and what formation and what style of play will work best for this team, these group of players. That's how most international teams work. And that wasn't true with ours. And that's even what the Dutch coach said at the World Cup. He's like, I've never seen any team in the World Cup play more like a club team. And I don't know if that was a compliment or not, than the United States. It's really crazy.
I don't think it was a compliment. By the way,
no, it wasn't.
Can you hear the storm here? Can you hear the storm?
I heard. I thought you were breathing heavy, but that sounds more like thunder now.
Yeah, it's Florida, dude. During the summer, once a day, there's like a insane storm for like an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Rocco 222 saying Olympic team watched the same movie together too. What movie you're talking about?
Behind the Green Door?
No, but they watched it together. Where's that coming from?
The Green Door. Oh boy, that's a reference you're too young to get.
Or maybe they watched Brokeback Mountain together. Great movie.
No, I totally recommend Behind the Green Door more.
More than Brokeback Mountain?
Oh yeah. I mean, Brokeback Mountain was a decent movie. Don't get me wrong. I liked it.
Heath Ledger's a good actor. Sorry, rest in peace.
Oh, he was a good actor. Yeah, I really enjoyed him while he was still around. No, it's a good movie. It really was. I know there are people who are pretty like, whatever, but that's about, two gay cowboys, but whatever. It's still a good movie. You have seen it. You have seen the movie, right?
Which one?
Brokeback Mountain?
Many, many years ago. That movie's old.
I thought you were going to say many, many times.
Imagine it's like, you've seen Brokeback. Yeah, it's like once a year. It's a tradition.
You never see that on like normal TV, like played, You see a lot of old movies played on TV, but never that one never seems to pop up.
Isn't it the name The Secret of Brokeback Mountain?
Maybe that's the book's name, but I think it's just called Brokeback Mountain.
Brokeback Mountain, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you got it right. Derek's obscure 70s porn movie. Yeah. It's not that obscure. Behind the Green Door was one of the biggest hits in the 70s. One of the biggest hits. Late 70s, early 80s.
Oh my goodness, freaking storm here. The floor is shaking. Oh, counterattack for the U.S. Probably not a goal, otherwise you would have spoiled it for me by now.
Yeah, I would have. Or
okay, good shot from Pedro Soma. Good moment there from Pedro Soma. Good cutback and good shot. Snow Sif is saying, Tack, I'm going to Orlando in November. What fun thing should I do during the day in Orlando or Tampa Bay? Well, Orlando, mainly it's the theme parks, right? If you can get your notes out, a couple things that you can probably do is you can go to Celebration Main Street at night. And I don't know if you're going with your girl. I don't know if you're going with your family or friends. It's a place you can hang out. There's a lot of restaurants to eat. You can also go to the Orlando Eye area, International Drive. It's very touristy, though. So, I mean, you are a tourist in Orlando, so you can go to that. If you want to go to a Brazilian bakery, go to Amor en Pedaços. So Amor en Pedaços Brazilian bakery. And Tampa, I just moved to Tampa, so I don't know. My goodness, is this a bomb that they're dropping here?
I heard that one.
I'm in Florida, not Ukraine. My goodness. And then in terms of Tampa, I haven't really been here long enough. I'm here for like a month, but I did go, ooh, the U.S. almost scored off a corner. We need that number 2. Tampa, you can go to like the St. Pete region near the Al Lang Stadium and go catch a Rowdies game. There's a lot of restaurants and bars nearby, good food, great place. So St. Pete. And if you like the beach, go to Clearwater Beach. It's a beautiful beach, Clearwater.
Isn't empadazos? Isn't that just like empadas?
No, no, en pedazos just means in pieces. So
In
amor
pieces.
en pedazos means love in pieces.
Okay, cool. Cool to know. That's
Uh,
Portuguese, right?
yeah, that's Portuguese. It's a good Brazilian bakery here. I like the food. Very good food.
Yeah, I have two friends, very close college old buddies. I still stay really close in touch with in Orlando, and they love it there. So
So when are we're getting you here in Florida?
yeah, I'm still working on that. My parents live there half the year. They live in West Palm Beach, so I've got to get down there at some point. My jobs have always made that difficult, and I just don't take many vacations. I'm a workaholic, so I got to do it though at some point. I've made promises. But if I am in Orlando, I definitely will let you know so we can go out and have a beer or
Or Brazilian food?
empanazo.
No, what would be good to do with you is to get you to Epcot and have you do the around the world. Have you been to Epcot?
No.
So Epcot is a Disney theme park, which it has rides, but the main attraction is there's a big lake, and around this lake they have many different themed like countries. So Japan, Germany, and it looks like you're there, right? They made it all themed, and it's very well done, of course, because it's Disney. And you can go and have food in each country, but it's like 15 countries. It's hard to eat in every country. So
Right.
one of the challenges is to go around the world and have an alcoholic beverage in each country. You pick the main one. So sake in Japan, have a beer in Germany, a beer in Ireland, Mexico. You have something with tequila, and it's tough. It's
you,
tough.
you stumble away.
Yeah, like by country number like 5, you already start to feel it pretty badly. Don't get me started like 15. That's a rough one.
Although my tolerance level is through the roof, so we'll see.
Yeah, maybe you'll make it very easily to 10, but like 15, you're gonna be struggling at the end.
Okay.
That's 15 drinks, dude.
I'm a horse, dude. I mean, it's crazy. It's really crazy.
Thank you for the super chat, ER. But here, DK50 says, I thought no alcohol at Disney. No, Epcot definitely has alcohol. I can assure you that.
The thing I'd be worried about is like they have the most sort of generic food for each country. Do they, or is that good? Like it's the German food, not just a bunch of bratwurst.
Look,
Like,
I'll put it this way. I haven't been to those countries outside of the US. I've been to them in Epcot. Like I haven't been to Germany. The food is good. In like theme park food is shit for the most part. But Epcot, I ate in France. I had their crepes. I had the croissant. I ate in Germany, the pretzels they had. It was all really good. Really good. Now, is it better in Germany? Is it authentic? I don't know. I haven't been there, so I don't know.
yeah, but those are all kind of generic French foods and generic German foods. That's why I asked.
Yeah, but
Like,
it's better.
you know.
But usually, like theme park foods,
But
is
they're
usually
good food. Like, there's a reason people love croissants. They're great.
Certified Chad, thank you for the super chat. He's asking any promising U.S. men's national team prospects here in the U-20. Honestly, I'm just gonna cut right to it. I know like the mainstream media guys always try to be very soft about it. I'm gonna say no.
No.
I'm gonna say if there's like maybe it's like maybe Pedro Soma, but not really. Maybe like it's a position also we have a ton of depth. Um, there's no player here that I really see starting for the U.S. men's national team senior team. There's maybe one or two that could make like be player number 26 in the roster in the future if he develops very well, but not really.
Not really. Yeah. I mean, you could say, oh, but Bertramus. You're like, well, what's he done really? Zachary's,
Like, yeah, maybe like a B team roster guy.
maybe. These kids got a long way to go, and some of these guys are not kids anymore. By the way, think about it. Pulisic was playing for the big boy Dortmund team at age 16. Reina.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it with these players. I'm not seeing it.
Yeah,
They
I'm
have
not
a lot
either.
of potential to make MLS better. They're not scrubs, that's for sure. But I just don't see it. Like, think about it this way: Ben Kremaski would have been probably the best player here, or one of the best players, and I don't think he'll ever be a senior team player.
No, he won't.
So that's the level that we're talking about. Maybe Figueroa, depending on how he develops in England, Figueroa might have a potential. Um, but outside of that, I don't really see it. Mr. Gonzalez saying, Tack, I live in the same city as you, Tampa collab. Where in Tampa do you live? And what do you make content? Do you make content?
I didn't know that Winkley made content. By the way, hi Winkley. He's on our show a
Wickley?
lot
That's how you
too.
say it? Wickley? I've always
I
wondered.
call him well, yeah. So I might be wrong.
It's Winokay? Wickley? I don't know how to say it. That's why I mainly go Gonzalez because like I don't want to butcher his name.
Mm. What were you talking about before that? Oh, Figueroa. Listen,
Maybe, yeah, maybe. Like
it's
American Ultra Talks brings it up. It's like all the U20s that have an 18 potential weren't released, which is good, yeah, of course. But the players that are here, I don't see 18 potential. I see maybe one or two, like we talk about Figueroa. Maybe the guy can make the roster, possible.
but he's not the first young player to go to Liverpool, go to Man United, and play in their youth development program, and then you're Mark Pelosi all of a sudden, or you end up having an MLS career for the rest of your life. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with having an MLS career for the rest of your life, but doesn't mean just because you play for Liverpool's youth teams, you're going to turn out necessarily to be an elite player. I hope he is, but I'm old enough to know better. You don't bet on that. You just don't. You don't bet on 19-year-olds and 18-year-olds. Like, if you're a really great 18, 19, 20-year-old, you're already playing for the big boy team because you're that damn good.
Or at least loaned to a weaker team, right?
Right, exactly. Yep.
But yeah, Lou Coutry saying he just came here just for minute 69. We're almost there. We're hitting minute 69 very soon.
Yeah, I'm 3 minutes from there.
So he says it's win okay with an A.
Went okay.
Winco.
Went okay.
Win
Okay.
okay. Yeah.
Then I've been mispronouncing it maybe for like a year and a half. I'm sorry, brother. Michael Hagera for $2. Uh, any high level dual nats we might lose coaching? I don't see why we lose coaching.
And Miguel is asking any high level duo Nash we might lose coaching. We could lose coaching. He seems to be a very highly rated prospects, but Coleosho is another highly rated duo now. And we talked about 18-year-olds playing at a high level, like Coleosho was playing in the Premier League at age 18. Coleosho we could lose. That's a possibility. Outside of that, I can't really think. Is there any other like duo nat that really, really matters? I mean, there's a bunch that are like they could be something, they might not be, but those are like a few. Like goalkeeper, we need Coleosho. He could even fight for a fourth winger spot. I really like Maximo Carizo, the Argentine American that plays for New York City FC's academy. He's 16, so it's not something we need now, and we could lose him. I always say this: Maximo Carizo, for example, if he is good enough to play for Argentina, we already lost him. He will
Yes.
play for Argentina. That's my overall point about Maximo. Um,
And, you know, there's a player in the Olympic tournament we already lost as well, Amir Richardson. So,
that was a big one, yeah.
yeah. We're going to lose some at this point and we're going to win some. But right now, dual nats are usually still going to bend mostly our way. But we're going to lose more of them now that we are a better squad and we have better quality players. It's going to be harder for, if you're a Mexican American, you're looking at the Mexican American futures squads and you're thinking, I got a better chance making that in the next 3 years or 4 years or 2 years than I've got it getting a spot on the US team because the Mexican team is in shambles. So we're going to lose some Mexican Americans. It's just going to happen.
Mm-hmm. So Lee Woodcock, I know you are Grant Tuberville, I believe, on X. I am not going to reveal where I live in Tampa. So DM me on Tampa. I'm not going to reveal here so everyone can see where I live, but DM me. I have no issue sharing it with you. Um, Certified Chad say, is Herb Renard the best candidate? What are the odds we get him? He's not the best candidate. When we mentioned Herb Renard, we're like, out of realistic names, so going a bit lower in the list, he is one of the best names out of realistic ones. But of course, like the best candidate is like Klopp, Pochettino, Tuchel. Like those are the best ones. Those are the coaches that have the most experience at the highest level. They'll demand more. They're bigger personalities than the players, so there'll be respect. Um, but again, when it comes to like the realistic names, like someone that we know that there's no excuses to not get Herv, he is one of them for sure, one of the best. And Jeff, spicy Jeff again. Oh, we hit minute 69. Nice.
Nice.
We hit minute 69. Coincidence or not, we hit minute 69 as soon as Jeff sends a super chat. Dude, Guatemala almost scored there.
Yeah, this is nervous Nelly stuff.
We did not play. We might pull off this win. I think we will, but we are not playing well today. Jeff Carey's saying, when are we going to collab? I'll keep my clothes on. Well, I mean, look, if we ever meet, Jeff, I hope you would keep your clothes on because otherwise that would be something that would be enough reason for me to call the cops. I'm not very for that, but I leave me with no options there.
Technically, he did say cloths, so he's only wearing cloths to begin with.
Definitely calling the cops then. So,
he's got a little cloth covering his man part.
It's still more than I would expect from him. So,
Spicy Jeff, you're a legend.
All Spicy right. Jeff. He is. He's more known in this channel than many guests that I've had. People know him more.
It's like whenever Colin Reese pops up.
Oh, but honestly, Colin, when he pops up, it kind of annoys me. He's a little annoying.
He went after you guys. What is it, yesterday? Because you were attacking Max.
We didn't even attack Max.
No,
we said that we think Max's soccer takes are really bad, which we've told this to Max. But we said that we really like Max as a person, and we would go out for a beer with him because he was amazing and awesome. He was a really funny guy with a lot of stories. So that's why I was even joking today that I want to go to like a baseball game with Max. Nothing soccer related. And then Colin Reese was like, you guys are shitting on Max. You can't say you don't like his soccer takes and say you're friends with him. It's like, yeah, we can. Like we can.
Yep. I mean, and we said that on our show last night when people brought it up in the chat. We're like, I don't know what's going on, but I can tell you this, they had dinner and whatever with Max in Austin and they loved him. He's a great guy. He's a really nice guy, but Max is compromised. It's true. He is compromised.
Well, he works for the league.
I like people at least admit they're compromised. Like Matt Doyle at least says, well, I work for MLS. Of course I'm compromised. Well, yeah.
Dude, this is the second time we have a bad giveaway and Guatemala almost scores.
Yeah, dude, this is really shaky shit. Like we're sitting in a low block right now. Well, of course, I'm 40 seconds ahead of you. This is not good. Yeah, this is not good. I can't believe they are dominating possession like this. It's really, really crazy.
Oh, boy.
This is such Greg ball. And I hate saying that, but it's what it looks like.
Yeah, we've been playing like shit lately. Complete shit. Attack prefers flirting with Jeff than talking to. I don't think I'm flirting with Jeff. I'll tell you that. But the problem with Colin is that he's just annoying because he just like lies, rants, and just says the same stupid shit. Like he says like something like the players need to pass and moves. Like, dude, like everyone fucking knows that. And
we already know that. Yeah.
They also pass and move. Like they do that. Like if like. What does he think? That people just pass the ball and stand there staring at each other's souls? Like they pass and move, for crying out loud.
Oh, we got a cool. Nope, we got subs coming in here at 73:30. 73-40. Yeah, I mean, listen, Colin, when stable and balanced, can have some good takes.
Once
And
every World Cup cycle, then.
he just needs to not take things out of context so badly. And he needs to understand what a joke is. That's the worst thing. Like when Max came on our show the second time, this is a year ago or more, he's like, Max, you shouldn't go on their show. They say horrible things about you. They totally disrespected you. It's like, no, we didn't. We disagreed with him. By the way, disagreeing with somebody doesn't mean we didn't
He
call him
lied.
a
He lied to Max about Pete telling people not to watch Max.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll do that kind of weird shit. And it's like, I've never called Max a name. I've never said he's a moron. I only have said nice things about him as a person, because as a person, Max is like top notch. As a soccer pundit, he is compromised. And we talked about this last night. If you got a job, you don't shit on the people that employ you. That's just not what you do. So, of course, he's compromised. Now, he may say, I call it like I see it. Okay, that's fine. But you're still calling it through your employer's rose-colored glasses. That's how that works.
Well, yeah, we've seen that big 180 turn with Taylor Twellman once he was hired by MLS to be the main guy on Apple, right, on the whole Apple deal.
Yeah.
Taylor Twellman, not that I was a big fan before, but I had respect for the guy before. I lost all respect for him the past like 12 months. The dude went 100% show mode. And I understand that he's hired by MLS, but when you're getting hired, maybe put some things in your contracts like, listen, so that you can at least be yourself to a certain extent.
Yeah.
I don't know if this guy even has a personality at this point. It's just kind of like whoever's paying him, he'll say whatever it is. I don't really have respect for people like that. I don't have it because we could have made more money also for shilling here and there, getting more access. If you're not going to be yourself, which he's not being himself, let's be honest. We've seen him on ESPN. We see him now. We see the tweets, what he talks about, what he criticizes. Guy used to promote the Open Cup all the time, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So I lost complete respect for Twellman lately. Kind of upsetting because of that. And he can think whatever he wants, but he knows that's a fact. Deep inside, he knows it's true.
Yeah, he's compromised. Listen, people, I mean, you can call it shill if you want or whatever, but the word is when you're employed by a company, you can't talk crap about anything within the company because guess what? Crap flows uphill. If you got a problem with the company, you talk to your boss. Taylor Twellman will say, this is something I don't like about. I'm not going to say it on air. He's not going to say it on air. Hell no, he's not going to say it on air. If he totally disagrees with the way they're treating the Open Cup, he's not going to say it on air anymore. He used to say it on air, not saying it anymore. So, yeah, that's what happens when you're employed and there's a contract that basically, I'm sure, says if you denigrate or, say something horrible about the company that we think is detrimental to the company making money, then we will release your ass. You will be fired. It's as simple as that.
Greenman 1694 saying, what happened to Yank Report? So Sam just kind of quit. Like, he just quit.
He's got his own company too, so he's running a marketing company. So
yeah, so he just quit. Like, there's nothing like controversial or weird about his story. He just quit.
Yeah. There's nothing personal there at all between any of us and Sam. I love Sam. I think he's a great guy.
Yeah, Sam has always been really nice to me every time I talked to him and met him.
Yep.
So 77 minutes there. Got like 13 minutes to go here. 1-0. We're having bad giveaway after bad giveaway. We're not playing well. We're not creating anymore. Essentially, right now is like the U.S. just trying to hold on to a 1-0 lead against Guatemala. This was our worst game of the tournament.
Easy. Yeah, this is bad. Like right now, it's just like desperation time in our own final third. This is ridiculous, honestly. Absolutely ridiculous. Should not be happening unless this is some sort of Guatemalan golden generation that we didn't know about.
Okay, Gonzalez saying, Tack, I have a Twitch channel that makes Mortal Kombat content. That's cool. And making FIFA videos. But if you meet, it would be cool if you teach me how to make good soccer content. there's not much of a secret formula to making good soccer content.
There's no more evidence than our show.
Yeah, there's no secret. It's just more like putting in the work, like doing your research too. There's parts of it that's just opinion based, but there's a lot of parts that are research based. So, and there's different types of soccer content. It depends on what you want to make. Live streams, you want to make like videos that are edited, explainers. Do you want to just go live for 3 hours and talk about stepsisters?
I would recommend not doing a comedy soccer show because apparently that gets you in a lot of trouble with YouTube.
Yeah. Derek, speaking of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run to the restroom while you take over.
All right, I'm here for
Do
that.
not look. I'm gonna be gone for like a minute. Do not. I don't want to come back here and it's like your channel has been deleted.
No, I won't do that to you.
Guys, do not let Derek get my channel deleted. I'll be back in a minute.
Enjoy that pee. All right. Comedy is subjective. It is. It is very subjective, but a lot of comedy these days is not warmly embraced. And yeah, so that's an issue. And so we get demonetized, not demonetized, we get limited very often. And when you get limited, you also get limited on the feed. And so we're not really sure why, because when you do a 3-hour show, you're not sure because they don't tell you what specific part was the part that got you limited. I mean, that's tough. So what am I going to watch the whole 3-hour show over again to pinpoint the one reason when there's going to be like 4 or 5 reasons maybe we got, because we don't know. I don't know if it's definitely not the stepsister talk. That's never seems, that's right in our intro. So that's not getting us limited. It's not the sex talk necessarily, I don't think. So I don't know what it is. Honestly, it's hard for us to know, but for a while, 100% of our shows for like months were all limited and we had no clue what it was. And then a few weren't, and they had the same intro and we said the same thing. I even did one show where I bleeped out and reposted the whole show with no cuss words, no swear words, and it got limited. And then I posted another show where I didn't bleep out any of the curse words, and it was not limited. And I'm like, well, I don't get it anymore. I really don't understand. I don't have a top 10 stepsister movie.
Jacob, not the stepsister again. But they said Jacob has a great question. Who's Jacob here? I missed it in the chat. So we're going to have to just go back to the game here. 81 minutes. We got 9 minutes to go for the U.S. to hold on to this 1-0 lead. It's been ugly. It's been hideous. And if we play like this against Canada or Panama, we might actually not make it to the final. Right. We're going to have to do better.
While you were gone peeing, we actually had an attacking moment. Although I am 40 seconds ahead of you.
I probably missed it.
I mean, I don't know if you were peeing or pooping. If you were pooping, that's the fastest poop ever.
There's no way I pooped that fast. When you sit down to poop, or as I say it, to send an email, you have to sit down and relax a little bit and enjoy the moment. Chill.
No,
Chill.
you do. You do. I agree.
It can't just be like it can't be a it can't be a quickie.
No. I had a roommate in college who would wake up, he'd light up a cigarette, and he'd head straight to the bathroom, and he'd be in there for like 20 minutes. Every morning. Every morning.
Hey, those are the best mornings, man.
I asked him why he always smoked a cigarette on the toilet, and he said, it provokes a Duke. I said, what?
It probably makes him relax, and then it just comes out.
I think you're right. Yeah. Provokes a Duke, as he said.
Jeff Carey saying, so what do you think about the latest on Mr. Beast?
What did he do?
It's probably about the scandal. And again, YouTube monetization. We don't know what we can say. One of his
oh yeah okay.
Yeah, I look, I don't watch Mr. Beast, so it's kind of hard for me to know what the guy is, but it's like one of the co-stars or one of the big names in the show. the big names that I don't know who they were until the drama happened.
Yeah, I didn't either.
They he was involved with some sketchy shit with minors.
Yeah, pervy stuff.
Yeah, let's just put it this way: if the allegations are all true, that guy should probably be behind bars.
Yeah. I mean,
But I
if they're
don't.
if
I
they're true.
honestly just saw posts, so I don't know the details of it. I'm saying if the allegations are true, that guy should be in big trouble, very
Yeah.
big trouble, allegedly. Allegedly.
Allegedly, allegations allegedly true. Yes. Sounds
Yeah,
bad.
no, no, it wasn't Mr. Beast. It was. I said it wasn't him. It was
It wasn't him. It
It
was
was like
the
a sidekick. Yeah.
yeah. It was the sidekick for sure. Who I don't know. It's a man, but it's a woman. I don't know. I don't know because I've only
Yeah.
seen I've
Look,
seen pictures. I have
look.
no idea.
These days, it's better to stay away from that drama that they're
Yes.
having,
Yeah.
especially when crimes were allegedly committed. Because I don't want to accuse anyone falsely. I don't want to misgender someone.
Yep.
I'm just gonna let it be. Let me do myself here with soccer and stay away from all of that crap.
I agree.
That is all. And good luck to the people involved.
Yeah. Well, especially the families of the kids, if that's true.
Exactly.
Good luck to them. Let it be, yeah, let it be. Speaking words of wisdom. Oh my! Not saying anything.
No way. No way they scored. No. They scored?
No. But
Okay.
it should have been. It was
Frank Cass is
close.
saying we need to have a coach before the September friendly so the new coach can get to know the player pool, right? Well, we should. We should. And I think we're gonna get an announcement not next week, but the other week. That's what I think. Hey, not a listen, think, opinion, not a report right here. I think not next week, the other week we'll get an announcement. And you may be wondering, based off what? Nothing. Literally just my tactical intuition. For whatever that's worth.
You need to have a little phone call with the person question here and see if we can
The
get.
problem is I feel like he knows a lot more than he tells me. So,
Of course. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not going to say anything because I know who he is.
they're saying, Derek, why do you always look up when you talk? He's looking at the TV, guys.
Yeah, I'm watching TV, guys. Yeah.
He's watching the game.
Yep. It's on my TV right there. And it's a big ass TV, but I still have to look up at it because it's not on the floor. And I'm sitting on the floor currently because I'm a Native American sitter. That's how I like to roll with my laptop. I do not like being at a desk. I do not like sitting on a hard chair. I like to sit Indian style on the floor. Oof.
Okay.
Did you see that shot yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was close.
Yeah, we're not playing well. Guatemala with the ball. I was actually quite impressed with Guatemala. And I was also quite impressed of like how bad we were in this game.
We've been horrible, dude. This has been the worst.
Yeah, this is not. And Guatemala is actually looking like smooth on the ball, silky, like dribbling one way. Oh my goodness, what is this guy? What is happening? What is happening? Penalty kick for Guatemala?
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
This could be
with like 3 minutes to go. Does this go straight to penalty shootouts or does it go to extra time?
I think it goes to extra time.
I can't deal with another 30 minutes of this show.
Pete, take a lozenge.
I just want us to go to the U-20 World Cup at this point because then we're gonna bring probably better U-20s.
Brett, are you out there? You watching this in the
was
chat?
Was that Berchimas? That was so stupid.
Yeah, it was not smart.
That was not. Oh boy, that was so stupid.
Jonathan Miller has been near suicidal all night, and he says, "Here, fuck me, I'm done." You said other things earlier. I think you just not need to take this so personally to your soul. I think your soul needs to be separated in some way from the game. Like, listen, my soul's in it when I'm watching the game, but after the game's over, my soul's out. I got other things my soul needs to be involved in. So you need to learn to kind of separate your soul a little bit. Like, what do you need to be engaged in with your soul, and what do you not need to be engaged in with your soul? And what times does it stop and start? I think you need to be able to have an off button.
What is this fight going on here? Maverick is saying, Felipe, I got tickets for the friendly for the U.S. men's national team game in Cincinnati. You want the 2 tickets if I can't go? So, Maverick, I can't go because I'm going to have to be covering it on YouTube, so I can't go. I would say thank you to you. If you want to, we can do a giveaway, or my recommendation to you is just sell it. Get your money back. But if you want to do a giveaway, email me, tacticalmanagertv@gmail.com. And we can do a giveaway if you want, but I can't make it to Cincinnati. I can't go to Ohio. I have to cover the game. So penalty kick here for Guatemala. 89. Essentially, if they score, we're going to go to extra time. Penalty kick for Guatemala. Choke. Saved. Oh, shit. Rebound. No. Saved. We're safe.
Yep.
We're safe. Nice save. That was a tough penalty.
I mean, it wasn't the best penalty kick I've ever seen. Let's be fair. That was pretty bad.
Yeah, but we got very lucky, man.
Yeah, no, we did. He guessed the right direction. The ball was right where his hands were going to be as he leaped to the right. So, yeah, sometimes penalty kicks are a crapshoot. Sometimes. Shouldn't be, but this was. It's not over yet, though. We're going to have 5 extra added minutes.
Yep. It should have been more than 5. Like, just the penalty alone was like 3 minutes right there because it was at the 87th, and they didn't take it till the 90th.
Kevin Plutt says American Ultras Talk is a dope channel.
It's good.
It's good. It's a good channel.
I just went to their channel. I think they're going to release an episode. He said Saturday.
I'll go on your show too, guys, if you need me, but you don't probably need me, and I don't want to scare
away.
I
recommend taking Derek, but just censoring him a little bit.
I'll go on and be really nice. I would love to help you guys out. It's crazy. It's looking just how young they are and how old I am. It's just like, wow. Holy Moses, I am old. They make me feel really, really old when I watch their show. I'm like, I am so old. And I'm about to be older on August 1st. Older. Another year older.
I mean, we're older every day that goes by.
Well, it's better than the other option, which is not to get older. Right?
Unless you're like 90-something years old. I feel like at that point, like, life might just suck, kind of, depending on your situation.
You're just like, God, please take me.
I mean, honestly, like, there's like, if you want to, it's fine. Being old is cool. Like, you're old, wise, and you're just like chilling in life at that point, retired, hopefully. But it can reach a point that if you can't like function normal or finish a sentence, kind of like the president of the U.S. right now, if you're in that situation, it's not very good. Like, I don't want to be in that situation when I'm old. I want to be functional.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you would have told me during my music days when I was touring and playing shows and partying all night long, day after day after day, week after week. If you had told me I was going to make it to 50, I would have said probably not. So I'm just lucky to be here now, honestly, and have a functioning liver.
Okay. That's a win. It's
a win for me. My parents are in better shape than I am. And they're 22 years older than I am. They're in great shape. They play tennis, pickleball, golf. They're crazy. They're like, go. 100% all day. They do housework. They're on the roof. They're crazy. They're in perfect shape. So I was just blessed with really amazing genes, and I did everything possible in my life to ruin that.
And
Ruin
you
that.
still weren't able to fully ruin it.
I wasn't. I was an athlete long enough that, so I've still got muscle. And but yeah, with all the drugs and drinking I did as a Ute, the partying, Jesus H. I'm lucky to be here, honestly. I'm just lucky.
And so's the U.S. lucky to be going to the U-20 World Cup because holy crap, what a shit show of a performance here today. The game's about to end. Did it end for you already?
No,
Free
it's
kick for Guatemala?
4:25 into extra time. And they're putting all the pressure on.
Yeah, free kick here for Guatemala. The U.S. men's national team is currently qualifying to the U-20 World Cup. Um, yes, but you got to remember, Derek, every time we make it to a U-20 World Cup, every time there's an accomplishment, the U.S. men's national team, Abe Lincoln and the founding fathers fought and died for this. So this is what they wanted.
I'm not sure they even knew what soccer was back in the 1800s. And Abe Lincoln would have been, that's the 1860s, right?
He would have been a good player.
I don't think they had soccer yet in the 1860s.
But do you think Abe Lincoln would have been a good player? I think he would have.
He would have good either center back or center forward at 6'4". He's still the tallest president that ever was the president of the United States. So he had the height.
Maybe a goalkeeper, and that's game.
Yep.
The United States defeats Guatemala barely, and we have officially qualified to the U-20 World Cup. It was a horrible performance. We obviously got lucky. The job is done, blah, blah, blah. It is what it is. It is what it is. What matters is that we qualified, and these are not the best U-20s that we have. We have better U-20s. But again, we made it. The United States is officially qualified to the U-20 World Cup. The Guatemalans are pissed off. One of them missed a penalty. He's obviously clearly upset. And we're going to play on Friday against Canada or Panama. If it's Canada, it'll be fun.
No, it should be fun. They're going to be, well, at least on paper, they should be better than Guatemala, which it's not a good sign for us because this performance tonight was very Berhalter-esque era. I mean, it was a lot of useless passing, a lot of senseless patterns of play that made no sense. It was, for a big portion of the game, the old 4-3-3, which is just junk. It's just junk. If you're going to play it that way, it's junk. And you just need to hang that up and find something else and play a different shape, maybe a different, pattern of play, maybe some trickery involved there. This was very uncreative and uninspiring tonight.
So Spartan Noel saying, what would Abe say if he was alive today? I'll tell you what he would say. He would say, he who has the right to criticize, he has the right to criticize who has a heart to help. That's what Abe Lincoln would have said, because he actually said that. So,
or he would have said, what is this shit?
Yeah, probably. Why are these bunch of imbeciles running after a ball and kicking it while we were just at war here? We were just killing each other. And now they're just kicking a ball with what is going on here? Moise saying, Tack and Derek, it's over. We won 1-0. Yes, thankfully we won 1-0. Yep. And we are going to the U-20 World Cup. But before that, we're going to play it. Actually, Friday's a busy day, man. Friday, we have the Olympics. Quarterfinals and then semifinals of this tournament, the U-20 CONCACAF Championship. You have a stream on Thursday, right? Thursday night?
Yeah, we do it every Thursday. So
we have a big preview there for the day after.
Yeah, so we'll be on at 8:15 Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, I mean, we got a lot to talk about. We always think it's going to be like an hour and a half show. It never ends up being one. So we'll probably end up talking at least 2 hours, would be my guess, on Thursday.
All right, everyone, tune in to the Straight Red Card tomorrow. They'll be live at night. They will be saying a lot of naughty stuff and talking about the games on Friday. So tune to the Straight Red Card tomorrow night. Drop a like here before you go. And as for myself, I'll drop the video tomorrow morning, the 7 things we learned of the Olympic game, and then I'll see you all on Friday. Maybe I'll stop by on the Straight Red Card. You guys send me the link. If I'm available at night,
for sure.
I'll be there.
For sure.
Right?
All right.
Right. Well, actually, not tomorrow night. Thursday night.
Right. Exactly.
Thursday night. Tomorrow's
Thursday
Wednesday.
night.
Sorry.
Right.
2 days from now, the Straight Red Card will be live. Not tomorrow night, Thursday night.
Thursday
right?
night.
Bye, everyone.
Love you.